Every single day, thousands of diesel owners are accidentally sabotaging their engines with habits that seem perfectly normal. These aren't obvious mistakes like running out of fuel. These are subtle, everyday actions that gradually destroy your engine from the inside out. After seeing countless diesel engines fail prematurely, I've identified 10 critical habits that separate engines that last 500,000 miles from those that die before 100,000. If you want your diesel to outlast your truck payments, you need to know about every single one of these engine destroyers. 1. The silent engine killer most drivers think is harmless. The first habit destroying diesel engines is something most drivers think is harmless: letting your engine sit there and idle. You see drivers everywhere warming up their trucks for 10, 15, even 30 minutes thinking they're being responsible. Meanwhile, their engine is quietly eating itself alive. When your diesel idles, combustion becomes wildly inefficient. The engine runs too cool and too slow for proper fuel burning. This creates a disaster happening right under your hood. That poorly burned fuel starts coating your pistons and injectors with sticky carbon deposits. These deposits build up layer by layer, choking your engine's breathing and reducing power output. Your DPF system gets overwhelmed with soot accumulation. Instead of the normal cleaning cycles, it's constantly fighting an uphill battle against particles that shouldn't be there in the first place. Meanwhile, unburned diesel fuel seeps past your piston rings and mixes directly with your engine oil. This fuel contamination turns your oil into a thin, watery mess that can't protect anything. Your bearings, camshafts, and cylinder walls start grinding against each other with inadequate lubrication. The carbon buildup restricts airflow, the clogged DPF creates dangerous back pressure, and that contaminated oil accelerates wear throughout every moving part. Commercial trucks have different duty cycles and maintenance regimes. Your pickup isn't maintained the same way. If you're stopped for more than a few minutes, shut the engine off, especially in cold conditions. If you're parked waiting more than a couple of minutes, turn it off. If you need running heat, consider a short, controlled idle or a block heater in cold climates. If you need heat in winter, a block heater or remote start limited to around 2 to 3 minutes is safer than 10 to 15 minutes of cold idle. This single change prevents thousands in injector replacements and engine rebuilds. But idling isn't the only maintenance myth costing diesel owners money. 2. The synthetic oil trap that's costing owners thousands. The next habit destroying engines comes from synthetic oil marketing that has convinced diesel owners they can push oil changes to 10,000 or even 15,000 miles. This sounds great for your wallet, but it's destroying your engine. Extended intervals are often marketing and warranty-driven, designed around warranty periods rather than what actually maximizes long-term engine life. They need your truck to survive just long enough to avoid warranty claims. Diesel engines create a hostile environment that breaks down oil faster than any gas engine. Your oil faces extreme heat cycles, constant soot contamination from combustion, corrosive chemical byproducts pumped in by the EGR system, and fuel dilution every time the DPF runs a regeneration cycle. These contaminants accumulate relentlessly, overwhelming even the best synthetic oil's protective additives. While your oil still looks clean, at 10,000 miles, microscopic metal particles are grinding through your engine. Acids form from combustion byproducts, eating away at seals and gaskets. The oil's additives get depleted, leaving critical components unprotected. This microscopic wear and acid formation is why oil analysis becomes crucial for catching problems before they become catastrophic. Manufacturers care about warranty costs, not whether your engine reaches 300,000 miles or maintains resale value. For maximum protection, change your oil every 5,000 to 7,000 miles, especially if you tow, idle frequently, do short trips, or drive in dusty conditions. Spending approximately $200 more per year on oil changes can help prevent $8,000 to $15,000 in engine rebuilds. Speaking of short trips, there's another daily driving pattern that's even more destructive than most owners realize. 3. Why your daily commute is slowly destroying your engine. Your daily commute creates the perfect conditions for engine failure. Those 5 to 10 mile trips to work prevent your diesel from reaching the sustained high temperatures it needs to function properly. Modern emission systems require higher sustained temperatures than older designs. So short trips are more damaging today. When you never reach proper operating temperature, your EGR valve accumulates carbon deposits from incomplete combustion. Your DPF never gets hot enough for regeneration cycles, allowing dangerous soot buildup. Meanwhile, condensation and unburned fuel contaminate your oil, destroying its protective properties. Each short trip compounds the damage. Carbon layers build thicker, oil contamination increases, and your engine struggles more with every cold start. Your emission systems depend entirely on sustained heat to clear themselves of accumulated contaminants. The solution requires changing how you plan your driving. First, combine multiple errands into single trips instead of making separate short drives. Second, schedule a weekly highway drive for 20 to 30 minutes at sustained speeds. Third, learn when your truck needs forced DPF regeneration and complete these cycles properly. This simple routine allows your engine to reach full operating temperature and clear accumulated deposits. Your engine needs consistent high-temperature operation to survive, but there's an even more immediate threat that happens in the first few seconds after startup. Most drivers create this damage without realizing it, especially when they're running late. 4. The cold start mistake that destroys turbos in minutes. That damage happens when you fire up your cold diesel and immediately hammer the accelerator. This single moment causes more damage than months of normal driving. Your engine oil sits thick in the cold, unable to circulate properly. Metal components are still contracting from overnight temperatures. Meanwhile, you're demanding full power from an engine that isn't ready to deliver it. Your turbo becomes the primary victim during aggressive cold starts. This precision component spins at extremely high speeds while starved of proper oil flow. The shaft bearings grind against their housing without adequate lubrication, creating microscopic scoring that accumulates with each cold start. Inside the engine, pistons slam against cylinder walls with insufficient oil protection. The high compression ratios that make diesel engines powerful now amplify the stress on every component. Thermal shock from sudden temperature changes can crack cylinder heads and damage gaskets. These microscopic scratches and scoring marks gradually become major wear patterns. Turbo bearings develop excessive play, reducing boost pressure and power output. Compression loss occurs as piston rings and cylinder walls wear prematurely. Don't floor it for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Keep engine load light until oil temp climbs. Watch your oil temperature gauge and maintain gentle acceleration until it reaches normal operating range. This simple patience prevents turbo replacements that cost thousands. But even perfect driving habits won't protect your engine if you're putting contaminated fuel in the tank. 5. The fuel station gamble that's poisoning your engine. That fuel pump you're using could be feeding your engine a cocktail of contaminants that slowly destroy it from the inside. Not all diesel fuel meets the same quality standards, and many stations sell fuel contaminated with water, sediment, and biological growths that wreak havoc on modern fuel systems. Your very high-pressure injection systems operate where microscopic particles can cause major damage. Water contamination creates the most damage. It causes corrosion throughout fuel lines and tanks while providing the perfect breeding ground for bacteria and algae. These organisms multiply rapidly, forming slimy masses that clog filters and injectors. Poor combustion from contaminated fuel triggers expensive emission system repairs and reduces power output significantly. Your fuel injectors suffer the worst consequences. Contaminated fuel reduces spray patterns and atomization quality, forcing injectors to work harder and wear faster. The high-pressure fuel pump accelerates its wear cycle when processing dirty fuel, while fuel filters become overwhelmed and fail prematurely. This damage happens invisibly until catastrophic failure occurs. How would you know your diesel just drank bad fuel? Watch for poor running, sudden filter clogging, or water in your separator. Detecting fuel quality problems proves nearly impossible until major damage occurs. Buy fuel from high turnover stations, drain your water separator regularly, and change fuel filters sooner if you see water or slime. Use quality fuel additives that prevent water absorption and biological growth. These injector and high-pressure pump failures are expensive, making fuel quality awareness your cheapest protection. But fuel contamination isn't the only warning sign most drivers completely ignore. 6. Ignoring the warning light that signals engine death. The DPF warning light on your dashboard represents a critical alert that your diesel particulate filter needs immediate attention. Ignoring it guarantees catastrophic failure and thousands in repair bills. This system represents the most vulnerable component in modern diesel engines, where neglect leads directly to expensive consequences. During regeneration, your engine burns accumulated soot at temperatures exceeding 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. This process requires sustained high heat and uninterrupted operation. You'll recognize regeneration by higher idle speeds, warmer exhaust, and dashboard messages indicating active cleaning. When you shut off your engine mid-cycle or ignore these warning lights, soot buildup hardens into concrete-like deposits that block exhaust flow completely. Incomplete regenerations create a devastating chain reaction. Soot accumulation restricts exhaust flow, creating dangerous back pressure that forces your engine to work harder. Performance drops noticeably as the system struggles against blocked passages. Eventually, excessive back pressure triggers engine derating or complete shutdown protection modes. Most drivers make fatal mistakes during regeneration cycles. They shut off engines when dashboard lights indicate active cleaning, ignore persistent warning messages, and never learn manual regeneration procedures. If the DPF light comes on, finish the regeneration cycle during the same drive or controlled idle, and learn your owner's manual regeneration procedure so you can complete it when safe. Proper regeneration habits extend DPF life from 100,000 miles to over 200,000, while replacement costs reach $4,000 to $8,000. But even perfect DPF maintenance won't protect your engine if you're making another common mistake that seems protective but actually causes damage. 7. The low RPM trap that chokes your engine to death. Many diesel owners drive constantly at low RPMs, believing this saves fuel and protects their engine. This thinking works for gas engines, but it's destroying your diesel. Diesel engines need load and higher RPMs to stay healthy, making low-speed operation under load a serious threat. Constant low RPM driving reduces combustion temperature, which increases soot and contaminates oil. This incomplete burning creates carbon deposits on pistons and injectors, reducing engine efficiency and performance. Your turbo operates poorly at low speeds, failing to provide adequate airflow for proper combustion. Modern emission systems require high temperatures to function correctly, and low RPM driving prevents proper operation. This creates a vicious cycle where carbon buildup reduces efficiency, so drivers drop RPMs even lower trying to save fuel, which makes carbon buildup worse and destroys engines over time. Your engine needs periodic higher RPM operation to burn off these harmful deposits. Schedule periodic higher RPM highway runs and occasional heavy load drives to burn deposits off. Think 20 to 30 minutes at sustained speeds where your engine works harder and reaches optimal operating temperatures. This allows complete fuel combustion and clears accumulated carbon from critical components. The Italian tune-up concept applies perfectly to diesels. Regular high RPM operation cleans internal components and prevents harmful buildup from destroying your engine. But there's another critical moment when most drivers unknowingly damage their engine, and it happens right after demanding peak performance from their diesel. 8. The shutdown mistake that cooks your turbo alive. You finish towing your trailer up a mountain pass or complete a long highway drive, pull into your driveway, and immediately shut off the engine. This moment just started a destructive process that will eventually kill your turbo. When you shut off the engine, oil flow stops instantly, while your turbo components remain blazing hot. Your turbo spins at extremely high speeds, often over 100,000 RPM, and reaches temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The oil trapped inside the turbo housing gets cooked by the extreme heat, transforming into hard carbon deposits. This process, called oil coking, blocks critical oil passages and destroys turbo bearings from the inside out. Without oil circulation to carry away heat, these carbon deposits accumulate with each hot shutdown, gradually choking off lubrication pathways. This damage builds invisibly over time until catastrophic failure occurs without warning. Most drivers feel time pressure and want to shut off and go, but after hard driving or towing, let it idle for roughly half a minute to a minute before switching off. That keeps oil flowing and prevents coking. This brief cooling period allows oil to continue circulating, gradually reducing turbo temperature and preventing the destructive carbon buildup. Turbo replacement costs $3,000 to $5,000, while this simple cooling habit can extend turbo life from 100,000 miles to over 300,000 miles. But even perfect turbo care won't protect your engine if you're pushing your diesel beyond its designed limits. 9. The towing trap that turns your truck into a time bomb. Towing heavy loads represents one of the biggest temptations for diesel owners, but exceeding manufacturer's specifications transforms reliable trucks into mechanical time bombs. The appeal of maximum capability leads drivers to push beyond rated limits regularly, creating extreme stress that accelerates wear patterns throughout every system. Constant overloading creates devastating chain reactions across your truck. Your transmission overheats under excessive load, causing clutch plates to burn and fail prematurely. The turbo spins beyond safe speeds, destroying bearings and requiring complete replacement. Your cooling system struggles against heat loads it wasn't designed to handle, while fuel system components work overtime against increased back pressure. Towing beyond capacity triggers cascading destructive problems. Exhaust gas temperatures climb to dangerous levels, and these higher EGTs increase soot production dramatically, while accelerating oil breakdown, overwhelming your DPF system, and destroying oil's protective properties faster. Cooling system failures become inevitable as radiators and water pumps succumb to constant overwork. Hidden damage accumulates invisibly throughout your truck. Head gaskets develop stress cracks from excessive cylinder pressure. Turbo bearings wear rapidly under overspeeding conditions. Transmission clutches burn from prolonged slipping under heavy loads. Calculate payload properly by including passengers, fuel, and cargo weight. Check your owner's manual for exact tow ratings rather than guessing. Monitor transmission and engine temperatures while towing, use lower gears to reduce strain, and select correct trailer gear ratios. Possible replacement and rebuild costs from overloading range from $15,000 to $25,000, while respecting limits prevents catastrophic failures completely. However, even perfect towing habits won't save your engine from the single most destructive mechanical failure that claims more diesels than any other problem. 10. The cooling system neglect that melts engines from within. Cooling system failures represent one of the most common causes of catastrophic diesel engine damage. Your diesel generates far more heat than gas engines and has zero tolerance for temperature issues. When cooling problems develop, catastrophic damage follows quickly and expensively. Your cooling system maintains precise temperatures for efficient combustion, protects head gaskets from warping, and keeps emission systems operating correctly. Diesel engines depend on sustained high temperatures for proper function, making cooling system reliability absolutely critical for engine survival. Radiator clogs restrict coolant flow and reduce heat dissipation capacity. Thermostat failures prevent engines from reaching correct operating temperatures or cause dangerous overheating. Water pump bearing wear leads to complete pump failure and stops coolant circulation entirely. Coolant degradation destroys its ability to prevent corrosion and maintain proper heat transfer throughout the system. Overheating triggers devastating failure sequences that destroy engines completely. Head gaskets warp and fail first, allowing coolant into combustion chambers. Cylinder heads crack under extreme heat stress. Complete engine destruction follows when internal components seize from inadequate cooling. Cooling problems develop gradually, making early detection essential for preventing major damage. Watch for slow temperature climb, unexplained coolant loss, or overheating under load. These are early warning signs that demand immediate attention before catastrophic failures occur. Regular coolant changes maintain proper heat transfer and corrosion protection. Schedule pressure testing to identify leaks before they cause overheating. Monitor coolant levels consistently and investigate any unexplained loss immediately. This routine maintenance prevents expensive repairs and protects your investment from complete destruction. These maintenance habits and driving changes determine whether your diesel becomes a reliable workhorse or an expensive failure. The difference between engines that reach 500,000 miles and those that fail before 100,000 comes down to these core habits. Idle less, change oil every 5,000 to 7,000 miles instead of following extended intervals, force periodic high-temperature highway runs, buy quality fuel from busy stations, and always cool your turbo after hard driving. These simple changes could prevent tens of thousands in major repairs over your vehicle's life. Right now, evaluate your own driving habits honestly. Are you making these mistakes? Start changing them immediately. Your diesel investment deserves protection through informed decisions and proper maintenance practices. Like this video if it helped, and drop a comment with the worst diesel mistake you've seen. Diesel engine longevity sits completely within your control. Every startup and every decision matters. Change these habits, and your diesel will reward you.